Hey guys, so this video is going to be talking about the newer push mower engines that have a lifetime oil change, like you never have to change your oil and all that. First of all, I strongly disagree with that. Like, if you want an engine to last, you got to change your oil. I don't care what type of engine it is. And yeah, most people don't change oil on push mowers because in 10 or 15 years, if they leave them outside, the deck rusts away and the engine ends up getting junked too, even though the engine's usually still good, because the deck went out, you know. So if you keep up with the oil changes, keep your push mower clean and inside, it'll last forever. Like you seen a push mower I fixed a couple years ago. It was a 1980 and still going strong. And this ain't exactly the best example because this is still an old flathead, but this is like an '02, I believe. This is a 2011. That's one of the last flatheads that were made before overhead valve took over. But the overhead valve is still the same. There's no drain plug on these. If you look under here, there's no drain plug. It normally be right there. Nothing. It's just a hole right here. It's part of the way the bottom of the sump's made. Yeah, there's no drain plug. Here we have a 2002 flathead, which is basically the identical engine as that one, but it's got a drain plug on the bottom of it. So that's something they did sometime between 2000 and like 2010 is when where you can't change the oil in it simply. You can change your oil in it, and that's what this video is also going to talk about. But it takes a little bit harder to do. So you have to get a pump to get in here where you check your oil at, where your dipstick is at. Take this out. You can do this with the engine hot or cold, but it's honestly safer and easier to do it with the engine cold, just so you don't have to worry about getting burnt. The oil's not too bad in this, but I'm very particular about changing oil and stuff. So next step is to tilt the mower to make that the lowest point of the engine. That way all the oil runs to it. So that wheel up in the air just 3 or 4 inches and just stabilize it so it kind of tilts it. That way all the oil will run down to that point. So let me do that and get the pump ready off camera. We'll go ahead and talk about the different types of pumps you can use. So this is what I went with. I've been meaning to get one of these for a while anyway. There's the number for it if you want to get one of these. It's real cheap, less than 10 bucks when it's on sale. And there's other types. Some of them, the cheaper ones, will have like a siphon ball, which you can use that. This ain't the best example, but it's the closest I got to the old kerosene pump that you squeeze right here, and it's got the knob up on top. But the tube on them is smaller than this, and it might fit in that hole. I'm not 100% sure, but obviously this is way too big to do it. But I just bought it to have one hand anyway. So let me get everything set up and we'll look at it. Alright, so I got my little anvil under the front right wheel, and a 2x4 up underneath this one, and that one's up over too, so it's tilted down. This wheel's still on the ground, so that's the lowest point. So you'll be able to get probably about 95% of the oil out of the engine like this, because obviously you're not going to be able to drain it to the lowest point of the engine, but you can get what you can out of it. So this is actually a siphon pump, so in order to be able to use it like this, it's going to have to be actually used as like a manual pump. But just to show you how much oil was in there, you can kind of see there. That's just getting smeared on it from the bottom of everything. But we'll try it again just to make sure. If you see something mixed in with it, I put a little bit of Lucas in with it. I replaced 20% of the oil with Lucas. Really helps small engines. So if this type of dipstick, if you don't screw it all the way in, the oil level will be right in between the marks on there. It's showing just a little bit high, but it could be the way it's sitting in this garage too. Yeah, it's right on full, just a little bit past full. And again, that's probably from the residual amount of oil that you can't get out of it. So you might want to deduct 1 or 2 ounces from it, or just keep checking it as you're filling it up. Alright guys, so that pretty much sums it up, and I'd almost guarantee it that's the first time the oil's ever changed in that mower, because it's an older mower and you don't have a drain plug, so it's a lot harder to do. This is that mower you seen in the previous video. It was found in the trash. It just needed a couple things done to it, nothing major. Got it up and going. But I highly recommend changing the oil in anything. Even if it's a lot harder to do on something like this, it's worth it in the long run. It's cheaper to buy oil every couple of years than to buy a new mower every 10 years. So, but if you got a mower and you really like it and you want to keep it for a long time, keep the oil change in it, keep it clean, and keep it inside out of the weather. Also want to note this pump also comes with a long skinny hose with an adapter to hook it up in order to stick it down like a dipstick on like a transmission fluid tube or something, or even a dipstick on a lawnmower or something you can't get in there. So that's a kind of a last resort method. Take a long time to remove fluid like that. And this hose is for hooking up the optional, it's got a blow nozzle tip and also a tip for putting air like in tires and stuff. So other uses too. Alright guys, questions, comments, suggestions for similar videos, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching guys, catch you on the next one.